going to a concert or event and then seeing someone come up to Brinson like, yo, I remember one time we was at a concert, probably the biggest concert I ever did, and this girl came up to Brinson and she was like, this song saved my life, and like my brain literally exploded with like joy from that. And that was a turning point in my life where I was like, okay, I'm doing it. I'm really gonna jump into it then.
Hello and welcome to Holy Culture's Artist Spotlight. I'm your host Jay, and with me today is Oatmeal. Oatmeal, how are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. So first of all, before I even get started, how did you get that name?
Brinson. I had that I had that name since as long as I can remember. Um so the story that I told everyone when I was little before I knew it actually happened was that I threw up on my uncle and he said it smelled like oatmeal. So that was the story that I thought was right. I thought I was telling everybody the right story. But the real story is that I just burped in his face and it smelled like oatmeal.
Well, I mean that's much better.
Yeah.
Now that we got that out of the way. So for those watching, who is Oatmeal?
Who is Oatmeal?
Who is
Oatmeal
Oatmeal?
is a rapper, a Christian rapper, a teacher, um, a mixed martial artist, a gamer. Oatmeal is a variety of things, just like the variety pack.
Did you have that prepared?
No,
For
that
the
was on
variety
the
pack?
spot.
That is priceless. So before we get into your music, so MMA, jiu-jitsu, Muay Thai, like what are we talking here?
I do jujitsu, Krav Maga, and Taekwondo.
Oh my gosh, you are like a man after my own heart. So I have a first degree black belt in Taekwondo,
What?
and I have my women's empowerment belt in jiu-jitsu. So I went through like the whole Gracie school, and
What?
then yeah, I know it's wild, right? So yeah, so I feel you. That's amazing. Okay, so before we delve into some more into that, tell us where Jesus found you.
Well, I really grew up in the church. Like that's as far as I can remember. But I think I was 12. I want to say I was 12, and Brinson was doing like a concert reach out thing, and I always knew Jesus was real, but for some reason at that concert it just hit different. Like I felt the need to go and proclaim that I felt that Jesus was real and really accept everything that comes with being a Christian and following Jesus.
So have you was there ever a time when you were not walking in your faith? Because I feel like a lot of times when we're younger, we're like, yeah, we're in the Jesus, but then as we get into our teen years, early 20s, we kind of like yeah, do our own thing for a little while. Did you have one of those?
I think like I always knew that he was real. I knew that it was a real thing. I just didn't walk the right walk until I say about after that concert. So of course it took like a little transitioning phase, but yeah, that once I got to high school, so about 13, 14, that's when I started taking it seriously. And like, yeah, I started taking it seriously then. So,
And so so you are Brinson's nephew,
hmm
right? And
right.
so has music always been part of your life then?
Yeah, yep. I remember because before Brinson was a Christian artist, he was just a regular artist. And then I remember I had to be like maybe 5-ish, somewhere around there. And I remember hearing his song on the radio. I was like, "That's Uncle Tony. What's going on? What the world?" I was riding. I think I was riding with my brother and my other uncle. My other uncle, he's like, I want to say he's like maybe 7 years older than me, but we grew up close together. He was like a brother, but he was my uncle. And we were riding together, and we heard it on the radio. And then yeah, I remember being growing up, hearing them in the studio rapping. Him and my other uncle, he also raps when he wants to, but yeah. So
So
yeah.
when when was that moment when you figure out that you could do it too?
Um, I was in high school. I would say my either my junior year or senior year, because I all throughout high school I was deep into music. Like that's the one that I got the deepest into music, like mostly hip hop. And I say about I think it was my junior year. That's when I finally wrote a rap, and I was like, okay, this is kind of easy. I still had to get the flow and everything, but the writing part was easy. I just had to get to work on the flow and stuff. But yeah, so junior year high school, that's when I probably wrote my first rap.
So if you were a senior in high school, and so you are, how old are you now? You're in your early 20s, mid 20s?
I am in my late 20s. I'm
In your late
29.
20s. Okay, you're it's still good. Like 30s is the new 20s, is what I say.
Right.
Um, and so okay, so your first song on Spotify was within the last year. So does that mean there was music before that? It just wasn't on Spotify?
Yeah, well, the music that's on there now, something happened with Spotify to where I had to it got swapped or something. I don't know what's going on. We still trying to figure that out. But everything got swapped, and then Brinson had a good idea to just put like all of my good or all of my best songs, like what's it called? Like what's those albums when it's like the best of whoever, and then they have
I
all
like
the songs.
a compilation of the best
Yeah,
of. Yeah,
yeah. It
gotcha.
was like that, but for me, and we that so that is all of that. It's an album called the Odie Files that has all of that on there. And then I'm not sure which one you're talking about, but I dropped, or I should say we dropped 3 singles
Mhm.
last year.
In 24, yep. So
Yeah,
the first one is the Odie file. So that's the one that you're talking about. So that was the first one on Spotify, and then the next one was Prevent,
yeah.
and then Move Different.
Hmm.
Um, so when was that aha moment where you were like, okay, I can do this. I'm gonna do this. What was that moment like for you?
Oh, I think it had to be either my senior year or I had just graduated. I remember riding with Brinson, and he was like, I think at this time I know what it was. I had a friend. He was doing music as well. He wasn't doing like Christian music like he is now, but I knew he had a studio, and I knew I wanted to record. So I went over there and I recorded. Brinson had no idea about this. And I had recorded a song um and perfect timing. Brinson come over to the house, and my dad was like, "You know, Oatmeal can rap," and my dad didn't even know I had the song either. And then my Brinson was like, "He can rap, but like he don't got nothing." So I pulled out the song and played it. And then my daddy, like right after the song went off, he was like, "That's what I'm talking about. You ain't even know he had that." And then Brinson he was just shaking his head like, wow. So at that moment when I saw how excited my dad got, I knew that I could actually do it then. So
That's
yeah.
awesome. I love it. So I know that there's a lot of artists out there that are gamers and
Mm,
that have licensing, their music ends up in a lot of video games, and you being a martial artist, does that influence your music at all whenever you're making beats? Like I feel like if I was an artist, I'd be like, man, I would love to do X, Y, or Z with this song. Like I would love to be on the mats with this song. Does that influence you at all?
Yeah. Um, I, tr- I mean, the distribution company we have, I don't know how good it is with like getting it licensed for games and stuff like that, but I would try. I feel like there's better avenues for that I just don't know about. But yeah, when I'm writing, gaming bars always come up. Um, Miss Martial Arts bars always come up. Like I feel like mostly gaming because I feel like more people gravitate to gaming bars than mixed martial arts. But for for some reason, just the gaming bars pop up more than mixed martial arts. Even though uh, I say I've probably been doing both about the same amount of time, but yeah.
That's cool. So what is your favorite game to play?
Right now it's a game called Marvel Rivals.
Okay. That's awesome. And so like I feel like there's a whole undercurrent, or I wouldn't say an undercurrent. I would say like a subgenre of like music that's related to games and
Mhm.
to like comic books and anime. Like I interviewed Dizzy 8 last year and it was amazing. It went like over gangbusters. Everybody was like, Dizzy 8 is amazing. And like he had like a whole nerdcore fandom. I was like, what is this? Like it's really
Mhm.
amazing. It's wild. Okay, so you've always been with God Chasers, like ever since the beginning?
Mhm. Yep.
Okay. And then how is that collaborating with and working with your cousin, family, and then Ludacris, is he related to you or he's just an artist on the label?
He's just an artist on a label.
Okay, so how is it like collaborating and doing artistry with Brinson? I saw you on the Turn video. That was a
Mhm.
hoot.
Yeah, I love it. Brinson definitely shows us the way he passed away for us. He makes a lot of things easier, like access to holy culture, and stuff like that. So it's been amazing, especially like just seeing like the impact that we have that Brinson has. It's been nothing short of amazing. So I
And
appreciate it.
you also do ministry with them, like you do events and stuff with them?
Hmm. Yeah.
And how is that for you?
It's that like going to a concert or event and then seeing someone come up to Brinson like, yo, I remember one time we was at a concert, probably the biggest concert I ever did, and this girl came up to Brinson and she was like, this song saved my life. And like my brain literally exploded with like joy from that. And that was a turning point in my life where I was like, okay, I'm doing it. I'm really gonna jump into it then. But yeah.
And so what was that shift then? Were you doing it previously part-time and now you're doing it full-time, or did you just like invest more of your time into your music?
I just invested more and I took it more serious. Like I was doing everything I needed to do, but I wasn't as invested. So yeah, after that,
And
that's when I invested my time and put more effort into it.
and does that include like investing in training and equipment, like a little bit of everything? Does it mean like doing more events, being more on social? What does that investing more look like to you?
To me, I can't remember if that might have made me get my own studio. Because when I first started, I was just going to Brinson House and then recording, and then yeah, that probably influenced that. And also, I got tired of like hitting Brinson up like, "Hey, I want to record," and he would be like, off somewhere. I'm like, man,
In Japan.
right, exactly.
Ministering to people. All right. And so okay, so now you have your own studio, you're investing more into your music. Um how do you balance that? Like I see that you're married. How do you balance the two between being a provider and also being an artist and trying to take your artwork more seriously? How do you balance the two?
Luckily, my wife, she takes the baby. I don't even know if I can call her baby. She's 20 months, a year and a half. Um, she takes our daughter to her grandma's house, which is like not even 10 minutes away. They go over there a lot. So when they do that, I can invest into the music. I can record, write, and all that good stuff. So I'm definitely grateful for that because if not, then I would be, I don't even know.
Yeah,
I would be
you wouldn't be
very,
able to do it.
yeah,
Or you're probably doing it at night when the baby's sleeping.
right. And then I
Right.
can't record because I'd be too loud.
Oh, the
So yeah.
kids. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I feel you. I feel you. So what are your goals with your music?
My goals is to reach as many lives as possible for Jesus, change lives, get them into heaven, and have fun while doing it.
Nice. And so, so you have, let's see, we were talking about prevent, we were talking about move different. How would you describe your sound?
I think I have a good mixture of sounds. Like I feel like I can do almost any type of uh I feel like I can produce any type of vibe, but I say usually I'm more on the new wavy type of music, but I try to incorporate the bars, the new themes of music today, and I always want to have a good flow to where it catches your attention. Um I think that encapsulates it all. So yeah.
Who is who would you say is your inspiration or who do you look up to that you're like, oh man, thinking about X artist just makes me just want to produce music. It could be secular or Christian, it doesn't matter.
hmm So aside from Brinson, I would say KB. He's been my favorite since I probably heard his first song. So KB, and recently Hovey has been really big. Um, I probably say that's about it. Oh, and Alex Jean. I say that because he just made a song that when I heard it, I didn't even hear the full song. I heard a clip on Instagram, and when I heard the clip, I was like, "What in the world?" It was so good that it made me want to write a song. So, yeah, and I did write the song. So,
Nice.
yeah.
Yeah, Alex Jean is like it's like a whole thing, and he's so like he knows his instrument, right? Like you saw him
Mm,
play at what was it? Rolling Loud Chosen Journey. It was crazy, amazing.
mm,
But yeah, he's on a I don't know crazy roller coaster right now.
right.
So what is next for you? What are you cooking up over there?
I have, well, me and Nazarite, my brother, who's also on the label, we have a project that we're working on. Um, I don't know if I could say this, but I'm gonna say it. Me and Brinson working on a project, and yeah.
Yeah, that's about as hard as you can. That's okay. We'll take that. Well, thank you so much, Oatmeal, for hanging out with us. And yeah, I can't wait to see where your project ends up being.